Like, if you're gonna start a business, it should be something that gives, not takes. I don't want like a low-paying side hustle job that, takes your energy and focus away from the people you love and the time you want to spend doing the things that you actually want to be doing. Hey guys, I recently had an opportunity to speak at a financial independence event about entrepreneurship. I've made over $2 million online and been able to stash away a fair amount of that towards financial independence. So it was really cool to talk to people who have the similar mindset about this. I talk about 5 different ways that anyone can get started online and get up to that $1 million mark and beyond. So without further ado, let's get into it. Thanks everyone. Thank you. So as you guys know, I've had the privilege to meet many of you. This is me and my wife. This is us in Park City, actually the Olympic Park. So this is where they do like the massive ski jump. If you haven't been to Utah, highly recommend it. Something we didn't mention yesterday was we're actually expecting our first baby in November. So that's very exciting. Lorna's absolute champ, yeah. So yeah, that's just a little bit about us. My story starts like 4.5 years ago. I started a marketing agency. This was, my friend likes to call it the nerve center. Like, this is where I worked from. This was the home base, my unfinished basement. This was a couple years in. It never looked this fancy in the first couple years. But we ran social media marketing campaigns for orthodontists. And we also called their leads. So we generate the leads on social media, we call them, book them on the schedule. It's kind of like a hands-off marketing process for them. And what's really cool is I had the opportunity to hire a lot of people along this process. And this person, we were hiring for, a calling the leads type job. And she said something awesome. She said, I would be a great fit to sell and schedule these orthodontic patients and any other dental specialty, as I have been ruining a very successful periodontal practice for the last 3.5 years. Hired, right? So lots of funny things happened along the journey, but what was really cool is earlier this year, in February actually, we sold the company. So that's me and my business partner on the right, and then the person we sold it to is on the left. And believe it or not, another orthodontic marketing agency. Strategic buy, they liked what we were doing around the appointment setting side. We were stealing some customers from them, so they ended up purchasing us. It wasn't like this crazy life-changing amount of money, but it was cool to see something I had built was recognizable enough and cool enough that somebody else wanted to look at buying it, and then actually went through with that. So today, what I want to talk about is multi-level marketing. I'm just kidding. No, what I really want to talk about, the title of today is Retire Yourself with Cash Flow from what I like to call a minimalist business, right? An alternative title is How to Build a Business You Love. This is what I'm all about. As we all know, and as many of you mentioned yesterday, like when you retire or you don't retire, whatever you're doing, even if you just have some cushion, you want to be working on what you actually want to be working on. So that's the purpose of today's presentation. So I found this scripture actually that I think illustrates the point that I want to talk about first of all. And it says, for which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Lest haply after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. So less about the people mocking you, but more about yourself. Like, if you're going to start a business, it should be something that gives, not takes. I don't want like a low-paying side hustle job that, takes your energy and focus away from the people you love and the time you want to spend doing the things that you actually want to be doing. What I'm all about is, minimum time investment as much as possible within, realistic frames and maximum output for that, both in enjoyment as well as revenue. And entrepreneurship isn't easy. It's not for everyone. Some of you may be better off just applying what we learned today to your regular job and earning more there or providing more value there. You could probably get a raise or, make more money there than starting off if it's not something that really fits your personality. Along with this, the biggest thing that I think most people misunderstand when it comes to starting a business is the levels of entrepreneurship. So on the left side, we have 1, and on the right side, we have 10. And 1 would be like a simple service-based business. You're washing your neighbor's cars, you're mowing lawns, whatever it is that's really easy to understand for you. On the right, we've got apps and venture capital in Silicon Valley. Don't ask me about that. If you have any questions, you can talk to Chen. on the left, we're proven, we're low risk, we're low capital. And on the right, we're unproven, high risk, high capital. There's nothing wrong with the right-hand side. It's just, I don't think it fits the vibe of most people here, right? And when we're starting out, especially, it's smart to learn by doing one of these proven low risk, low capital businesses. And then maybe one day you can start the next Airbnb, right? But learn on somebody else's dime, learn doing something you already know how to do, learn where you can be profitable on day one. And some of you may be wondering, but don't I need a crazy idea? Like, how does this work? Not at all. Many of the companies that do amazing nowadays just took somebody else's idea and did it better, faster, cheaper, or they had a better personality. So any of those can apply to you. And we'll talk about today 5 ideas that I think are on this kind of 1 through 3 level of entrepreneurship. Pretty easy to get started with, minimal capital, and you can be very successful with them right away. And at the end, first time I've actually done this, but I want to be transparent, and I've been very benefited by people like you sharing your numbers. So we're going to talk about numbers at the end of kind of each one of these and how it fits into my business. So reselling. If you can download the eBay app, you can go to TJ Maxx, Ross, any type of business like this, even a flea market. You can scan that item or just search it in the eBay app, see what it's selling for on there, and then you can do one of these plays. So buy the purse for $20, sell it for $60 online. Like, simplest thing in the world. This is like level 1 entrepreneurship at its finest. I have a friend, Tom Brickman, some of you may know him, and he sells, like he's bought mugs for $1, like 60 mugs, and sold them all for $20 on eBay. So he talks about this as like his safety blanket. Whenever he's like worried about making a down payment for another rental property or doing something else, he just goes hard into reselling, and he's able to make up for a little bit of that cost that he wants. Also, talk to Tony after if you want some crazy reselling stories that have to do with credit card points, because this is like level 1 reselling. Tony's done some crazy stuff. And that's it. That's reselling. Very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. People do it all the time with other stuff too, like bikes, cars, whatever it is that you like, you can make money flipping it, essentially. Next up is consulting. At its core, it's just this. You take someone that's confused, anxious, scared, whatever it is, and you help them become happy. So on a business front, this might be helping them get more customers or helping them service those existing customers better. On a personal front, it might be helping them with their health, with their money. Katie wants to start a money coaching business, so great example here of consulting, just helping somebody from the state that we see on the left to what we see on the right. Next up, affiliate marketing / sales. Anybody know what affiliate marketing is? Raise your hands. The example I like to use here, my wife loves to get her nails done, right? And she works in a school, so like every other teacher loves to get their nails done too. So let's say she finds like the perfect place to get her nails done. She's gonna go tell all of her friends. All of her friends are gonna go get their nails done, and that's just a referral. But affiliate marketing takes that a step further by letting her get paid for every single person that she referred. And it's not like an extra amount, it's just, okay, if your nails were $50, we're gonna pay you $5 for every single person you refer every time they come. I personally love doing this with software because it's a little bit more recurring, and you can sell someone once, stay on the software for 10 years, you get paid every single month, right? So I particularly love this software. It's called High Level. It's just a CRM. It's built specifically for agencies, and they sell to the masses, right? Like, they run ads, they have blog posts, they have YouTube videos, and people sign up for the software because they've published these marketing assets online. But what I did is, like, the software's kind of complicated, and a lot of people struggle to figure out, like, what's the value add to my business? How can I make it work for me? All this kind of stuff. And I made maybe 10 videos online about this, and so I became the middleman. So people search for High Level, and instead of finding High Level, they find me. They watch my video, they're like, oh, he seems to know what he's talking about. I think I understand why this software matters now. And then they sign up, and last month, we broke $8,000 in commissions from this, which is really cool. And it's mostly passive, right? I do have like certain bonuses if people sign up. I do have also products that if they purchase High Level, they'll probably want to purchase these other products as well. So it's sort of a lower ticket offer in my business that then leads to higher ticket things. So this one's very cool. Another example here that is a little bit less on the software side. Certain dog trainers, believe it or not, can charge upwards of $5,000 to train a dog. So let's say you are really passionate about dog training and sales. So you could go reach out to dog trainers and say, look, I know you're busy taking all these sales calls, trying to sell people into your dog training business. How about I just take those, and then if I sell them, I take 5-10% of what I sell. So you sell a $5,000 package, I get $300, whatever it is. You do that, you get 10 clients. You can work from anywhere, you can take the calls from anywhere, you just gotta talk to them, help them understand that the dog trainer that they're going to work with is gonna do a great job. And there you go, there's your affiliate-based sales position, right? All right, so that's number 3. Next up is agencies. You guys loved this picture before, right? Agencies are just consulting, but services instead of talking to them, right? We take someone from being confused, upset, whatever, and instead of just talking to them, we actually do the thing for them, and then they become happy. Tons of different ways to do this, and many of you have the skills to get into this line of work if it's something that you'd like to do. So on the marketing end, Facebook ads, that's what I did, Google ads, TikTok ads, you could post content for people, you could do SEO, search engine optimization, you could do recruiting if that's something you like, you could do coding if that's something you're good at, video editing. David is going to start his video editing agency. I think Steven wants to hire him. Yeah, apparently there's a little bit of beef going on there right now, I don't know. Design, if you're good at design, you can absolutely do that. Animation, translation, for those of you that speak multiple languages, there's tons of opportunity in the translation business. Writing, so writing blog posts on behalf of people, writing social media posts, writing emails, whatever it is, photography. And then this last one's pretty cool, software specialization. If you're good at a software that 99% of people aren't good at, you can consult them on how to use it, and they'll pay you really good money to sit and watch them use the software, and you can just coach them through it, or you can help them set it up on behalf of them, right? So that's agencies, that's what I did. Lastly, digital products. This one's really cool, and I think maybe like the biggest one that's the coolest in this room. So first, let's talk about e-commerce. If you wanted to start an e-commerce company, let's say you have a widget that you want to sell on Amazon, you'd go find a supplier, probably overseas. You'd say, do you produce this particular type of widget? They would say, yeah. You'd say, cool, can you put my brand on it? Sure, okay. Then you'd ship it to a warehouse. The warehouse would charge you some fees. Some of the inventory is going to get broken while it's coming across. Then you're going to ship it to the customer. Hopefully they're happy when they get it, right? But there's a lot of costs in here. There's a lot of back and forth involved. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Take it a step further, you could just send it to Amazon. They're gonna charge you fees when they sell stuff. However, you're not gonna have to market your own business really, besides making your Amazon listing really good, maybe paying for some ads on Amazon. It's a lot simpler, but you do have lower profit margins because of the fees that Amazon takes. Totally doable, nothing wrong with this model. But again, there's a lot that can go wrong. Things can get broken. You could end up investing things into a product, like thousands of dollars into buying stuff that doesn't actually sell or goes bad or whatever it is. So what I prefer, and I think is really easy to start with, is digital products. So you've probably seen some of these logos up on the screen right now. We've got Canva, which is like a design software. So you can design like stickers or templates, like birthday party invitations, and you can put them on Canva, and people can just go to Canva and they'll see that advertised there when they search for whatever it is that you designed. One click, their credit card's already plugged in, you made $10, right? And you multiply that across the hundreds of thousands of people that use Canva, and I've seen people make upwards of $50,000 on a single little template that they made. Same thing with Etsy, like super popular. You can do it with like holiday invitations. People are always trying to download a Halloween invitation type thing, and if it looks really good and you've made your listing look great and other people have positive reviews about it, you're gonna do great. Amazon, this one's actually really big. Amazon Books. You can design a journal, you could design a notebook, you could design a calendar, some like kids book. We know how short kids books are, like K-A-T, it's a cat. Turn the page, like moo, the cow goes moo, right? And you can sell those for $10, $15, $20 on Amazon. A lot of them are just digital prints that you can do, or you can get them physically printed and make quite a bit of money doing that as well. Udemy is an online course platform, so you can build a course, put it on there. They have thousands of people buying thousands of different courses, and you could make good money there. And then lastly, Adobe. This one's pretty cool. Adobe products, really any like creative type software, there will be presets. So let's say like Steven wants this video of me to look a certain way with like grungy background and like, this cool like color scheme. He could buy something for maybe $10, $15, $20, just apply it using Adobe Premiere, and then he owns that thing for life. He can use it on any video that he makes in the future. So any sort of creative type thing that you may know, or you may know someone who knows how to do that, and then you can market the product. Tons of money to be made there. And again, you make it once, you can sell it a million times. All of these are really, really good when it comes to profit margins, operating wherever you want in the world, and making something and just selling it a million times. You can also take all of these digital products and just sell them via your own website or your own brand. And that's kind of the trade-off that you make if you're going to sell on a marketplace like this. You're going to get a lot of fees, but you're also going to get a lot more eyeballs on the things that you're selling for free. If you end up selling things yourself, you're going to get less fees. It's a better long-term play, I think, but there's no reason you can't do both. Start selling it on these platforms, and then eventually kind of transition to your own website, your own brand. So I actually use 4 out of the 5 here every single month, and I like to kind of spread out my income so that, you know, if any given month one is lower, one is higher, it evens itself out. And once I sold my agency, I started setting up this business. I was still doing some work with the agency, and for the last, I would say, year and a half, I've been taking the consulting side of my business a bit more seriously. So I help other people who want to start marketing agencies or who own marketing agencies to have a better streamlined process, get more customers, remove themselves from the business if that's something they'd like to do. And again, I've been making free content online about this for 2-ish years, a year and a half, but I really didn't start taking this seriously until 4 months ago. And these were the numbers from last month on each of these. So Google AdSense, this is sort of like a byproduct. So this is my YouTube channel, just people watching the channel. It was almost $1,700, which is very cool, which pays for the video editor that you see on the other side, $960 that I spent on him to help edit those videos and videos that went up on other platforms. One-on-one coaching, that's one package that I sold to one person who wanted to work with me personally. So that's $5,000. Affiliate marketing, I mentioned we broke $8,000. This is mostly that one software that I like to promote. There's a few other things that I like to recommend. So those are slowly growing as well. Agency clients, these are just a few leftover clients that I had that weren't included in the sale. Adds up to about $3,000 a month, and they're pretty low maintenance. And then lastly, digital products was almost $13,000, and that's a course that I have. It's kind of like the mid-tier. If they, it's too expensive to work with me one-on-one, they can get basically all my knowledge just downloaded in a course. So on the other side, when it comes to expenses, we've got a video editor, which I already mentioned, almost $1,000, a full-time assistant, $1,800. He's based in Tunisia, so this is really good money for him. Email copywriter. I could do this myself, but I'm kind of lazy, so I just have somebody write the emails for me that I send out. Ads, this was like an experimental month. We've never spent this much on ads, so almost $4,000. And honestly, they didn't even do that well. It's just a testing month. So I would say maybe 5% of the revenue you see on the left was because of the ads that I ran. So we're making some tweaks, and hopefully that ROI number will be better. And then softwares, my accountant, other just random miscellaneous fees, another $1,000. So you can see, like, this isn't, the Silicon Valley $500,000 a year salary with benefits, but it's an amazing life to live when I don't have to set an alarm. I can work when I want, where I want, and I can go on a walk whenever I want. And I would say on average, I work about 6 hours a day, but I'm trying to kind of get in a bunch of work before the baby comes so that we can, spend as much time with him when he's here. So very cool. And I wouldn't say this is my best month ever, but it's also not my worst month ever. So it's kind of a medium there. So before we close out, one of the questions that I have all the time is just like, how do I get customers? How do I get them? I'm not sure. I feel nervous about starting my business because where's the customer going to come from? And then where's the next one going to come from? And how do I create a steady stream of that? What I'm about to share is actually really important because there's a lot of, for lack of a better word, scams in the marketing industry. You can waste a lot of money on with little to no return. And there's nothing you can really do to go after that person. And the reason I like sharing these 3 strategies and driving home that these are really the only 3 strategies out there are because anything that anyone ever pitches you or you ever try when it comes to marketing is going to fit under one of these 3 umbrellas. And so if you can get this in your head and identify under which umbrella it fits, you're going to see like, okay, this isn't like the best thing since sliced bread. It's just a rehashed version of this, which I'm already doing. Maybe I should just improve that. And it'll help keep you safe. So first one is media. That's any form of mass communication. So radio, social media, email technically, TV. Next one is direct outreach, cold calls, maybe walk-ins, things like that. And then lastly, referrals, which we're all familiar with. And these are the kind of sub parts of each one of these. So paid media would be running ads on social media, YouTube ads, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. The ads you see between the posts, that's paid media. Also any commercials between TV ads or between TV programs would be considered media as well, or paid media. And then next up is earned media. So if you were featured on a podcast or the news wanted to feature you or something like that, earned is free, but you didn't do it yourself. Somebody else gave it to you essentially. And then lastly would be owned. So these are the followers on your own social media account. This is your email subscriber list, your phone numbers that you have to reach out to customers. And that's the absolute best form of marketing in my opinion, because you own it. It doesn't cost you any money to send, very cheap to send emails, very cheap to post on social media. And you can get tons of customers at a large, it's very asymmetric activity there, right? So media, just be thinking, if you're thinking about starting a business, what would I do? Paid, earned, owned? Probably a combination of the three, but how can I turn as much of that as possible into the owned media that I own and I control as much as possible? Next up is direct outreach. Two options here: remote direct outreach, cold calling, cold emailing, texting people, whatever it is that you're doing from your computer, that's remote direct outreach. And then last would be in-person, door knocking, going business to business, networking technically would be direct outreach, kind of married with referrals. And then the last one is referrals, and there's three kinds of these. Organic, which is I just love the product, I'm going to recommend it to anybody that I know that may want it. Secondly is strategic. So let's say I run an orthodontic marketing agency, just hypothetically, and I wanted to get in with as many orthodontists as possible. I would reach out to people who already have existing audiences, relationships, etc. in that industry and build a relationship with them, because if they learn to trust me and I provide them some free work or whatever else it is, they can recommend me to their entire audience of orthodontists with, a stamp of approval. That's a really easy way to get a lot of customers once you've built the relationship. And then lastly, incentivize, that's affiliate marketing. You tell all your customers, look, you bring me a customer, I'll pay you a portion of what they pay me. Very effective way to market, very good way to get the word out. So those are the 3 ways to acquire a customer with the 8 kind of subcategories there. Again, that's it. There's nothing new under the sun. These are the ways to market your business. And not only will it help you not be taken advantage of, but it will also help you to formulate a plan when it comes to your marketing your business. Like, which one of these am I going to do? Which one am I going to focus on? I recommend one from each bucket and then grow from there. This is my book list. Anybody trying to start a business or thinking about starting a business should start with these 3. So on the left, we've got The Money Tree, Chris Guillebeau. Anybody heard of him? He's written a few different side hustle books. The point of it is not everybody should be an entrepreneur, but everyone should learn to think entrepreneurially. And he kind of pokes fun at the Silicon Valley, raise a bunch of money field in this book, but it's really cool because it's a parable. It's just a fake fictional story about a guy that kind of wants to get in a better financial situation and how he utilizes some of the different strategies in this book or in this presentation that I just gave to get in a better financial situation while keeping his job the whole time. So if you're nervous about it but interested, that's a great one. Second one, Essentialism by Greg McKeown. Excellent. I've read it 10 times. Recommend it to everybody. Great life philosophy. It's just about pursuing less instead of more and trying to focus on a few key things that are going to move your business and your life forward. And then lastly, Atomic Habits. Everyone's heard of that, but excellent book at helping you just realize that growth happens slower than you think, but it's all about taking those little steps towards what you really want and doing that for a long period of time. So I wish you all the best of luck in your entrepreneurial endeavors, and thank you.